Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Today I want to have a family discussion with you all about the Civil War that we're in. And it seems like the majority of our people, Black Americans, Black African Americans, FBA, foundational Black people, descendants of chattel slavery, it seems as though the majority of us do not understand that we are in the midst of a civil war. And because the Civil War looks different, there are no, men in white robes riding around on horses, burning down our houses, lynching us from trees, um, terrorizing us in the streets in ways that they've done previously, like after slavery, during the Reconstruction era, during the Black codes and Jim Crow, and even during chattel slavery when we used to try to escape. Um, it just seems as though because we are comfortable, we got some creature comforts, we don't understand that these folks are at war with us. And we're not doing anything, in my opinion, to defend ourselves, not collectively, and not enough of us to stop what's going on from happening. We got a segment of our population who are comfortable. They, were able to benefit from integration and they've isolated themselves and they're just completely disconnected from what's going on. We have the uh, ignorant folks who are brainwashed and their families were brainwashed and they just cannot see. They love their oppressor and they are going to continue to love them until the oppressor closes the door in their faces and it hurts them. We got our raccoon class who is selling us down the river. They are a black face in a high place and they have us fooled because the dominant society understands we love tokenism and performative stuff. They've conditioned us to be this way. And then we have the fact that our whole community is in disarray because of the laws and policies and benefits that the dominant society has put in place to separate us from one another. They've, separate the men from the women. They got the women into feminism. They got the young girls into feminism, and nobody needs nobody. Nobody wants nobody. We the only group of people who don't like each other and espouse it on TV, um, on the internet, and it's insane. And they've taught us to be dysfunctional, and the way that they live and operate will never work for us because it's not the way that the Most High designed us. It's out of order, and as long as we remain out of order, our community is going to remain in chaos. But we're out of order because we are living amongst our captors. And so, it's just really disheartening to see so many people not be able to put all these pieces together and come out of this system and stop believing in this system and stop helping this system. They even got us thinking if we help, we're all alike. We're not all alike. We're all the same. No, we ain't all the same. Um, our uh, social issues are the same. No, they're not, because America will help everybody socially except for the black man and the black woman and the black child. And while they may pick a few token people to represent us, those people are usually raccoons or people who will not do our bidding, who will go and assimilate and do the bidding of the dominant society. So we don't have anybody in this system that is fighting for us at a high level because this system will not allow them to do that. And so, I just see us in a war. It's all around us, and I'm just really disturbed because a lot of us don't see it. So I want to talk about the ways that I see us in a war. So first, I want to just say that we're in a war economically. Between AI, artificial intelligence, immigration, legal and illegal, because studies have shown that when America opens the borders, they let people in who will come in and who will replace us on jobs, who will discriminate against us on jobs, and who will come into our communities and destabilize them. They intentionally put these people in or near our communities to redirect resources and to um, discriminate. Basically, they don't have to do it themselves. It's people who look like us who come into our communities and do it. Um, we'd have to deal with unfair social laws, employment discrimination, um, even laws like with child support. You have men who are unable to get work or lose work because of unfair child support practices that particularly harms our Black people. Now, I'm not making an excuse for anybody who has made poor choices and you just don't take responsibility for your actions. But there's a different way that, you know, taking care of families can be handled so that is not such a burden on men who would like to go forward and have families and have homes and have cars and driver's licenses. And it shouldn't be where, um, men take care of women because they're divorced for the rest of their lives, especially when a woman is capable of taking care of herself if she initiated the divorce or however it happened. Economically, the way that we are handled in this system makes it difficult for Black people to move forward mentally, physically, and financially. Lastly, um, economically, we don't even control anything. We don't control cities. And if we do, we have to share power. We don't control our food supplies. We don't control our water. We control nothing economically. We take all of our money and we give it to other people. And even if we do have a few businesses, we don't do always do good business where we can patronize each other. And when we do have money and there is a good business, we would much rather go to the big box store or Mr. Charlie and them to have things done because of the dysfunction in our communities. When it comes to labor, we have to deal with employment discrimination again. Everybody discriminates against African American Black people. I hate to use the term African American, but I have to, distinguish between us. I just can't say Black because there's so many other different kinds of Black people here in America who also engage in discrimination against us when they have the opportunity to. We also have to deal with age discrimination. A lot of people don't like to hire older Black people. And then we have to deal with unequal pay on our jobs. So we never can catch up, and we are historically behind when it comes to pay and wealth. And that only happens because we are living in a system that historically discriminates against us. It is set up to keep us down, and it's perpetuated from generation to generation to generation. If it wasn't, if the dominant society wasn't teaching their children and their grandfathers how to discriminate, the wealth gap wouldn't be so big. So it has to be something else going on behind the scenes. And that, to me, that's a war. But, most people don't see it because you can't feel it. You've learned to tolerate the inequity and the injustice. The next one is law. There are two sets of laws in this nation. People can do stuff to us and nothing happens. We can get in trouble and another group of people can get in trouble, and the penalty is not as harsh for those people as it is for Black people. The same applies for the grandfathers. Grandfathers have been allowed to climb the ranks and get into positions of power where they also participate in the discrimination and doling out harsher sentences to African American Black people, even our children. So that's another form of warfare that the dominant society has engaged in. They have turned other minority groups against us, made them anti-Black so they can hide their hands and still get their work done. When it comes to politics, there is no political party Black people can vote under to make life better for us. We live in a zero-sum Ponzi scheme society designed for the pilgrims and their grandfathers. No political party has ever, been designed for us. We don't have a party that we can vote under. Therefore, we have no means to fix the things that are wrong with our communities or the injustices that we see. Our votes do not stop an injustice and they don't stop inequity. No policies are made to help just Black folks. Everybody else can get help except for Black folks. Now, you tell me that is not a form of warfare. And why is it that most Black people cannot see that? We keep on talking about, oh, if we vote, we got to get this person out of office and get a new person into office. We've been voting forever, and the wealth gap is still bad. The prisons are still filled up with our people. We still don't get paid the same. We're still discriminated against. So no laws that are on the books are helping us. And that is a form of warfare that we seem to be incapable of grasping. Religion has been used and weaponized and is now a weapon of their war. Every major religion that Black people participate in has been used to brainwash and control us for centuries already. Christianity, Islam, and Catholicism all come from our open enemies. The same people who captured us gave us all these different religions. They've used them to not only capture and enslave us, but they use them to steal our resources, our time, and our money. Praying to their God and engaging in sun worship is an act of war against us. We follow them thinking that we're doing the right thing. And don't get me wrong, I believe that the Most High can connect with his people any place. And I believe he understands our intentions. But we were a peculiar people. We had our own ways to worship. We had our own places to worship. And they basically erased our history, made us forget everything we knew, taught us their religion, taught it to us the way that they wanted us to learn it. And we continue to perpetuate the cycle today. And even though the truth is out there everywhere, our people still refuse to acknowledge it and embrace it and turn away from this system. So essentially, we are in a psychological operation. And, they don't have to use any weapons, physical weapons, to mortally wound us. They use psychological warfare on us, and they've been using it for a long time, and it's working. They use sex as a weapon. They have used sex as a weapon. We no longer have sex in the way that the Most High intended for us to have sex with one another in the context of marriage. Our enemies have taken our children and erased, our own culture, the way that we, practice sex, or I should say intimacy. And I hate to even use those words because just how we have sex in general has been perverted. We are now over sexualized monsters, it seems, with no self-control. Their ideas and views on sex have permeated our people, causing serious dysfunction, dislike, and distrust amongst each other. This dysfunction benefits the dominant society because the way that we have sex and the way that we communicate and the way that we've been told that we should have sex is all wrong. But it's made us weaker, and it's caused us to be divided, and that benefits nobody except the dominant society. When men and women are not liking each other, black women don't have support from the black man don't have support from the black woman. Nobody has support from nobody, and you think you're getting support from your open enemies, but you're not. And you think you can get support from grouping up with a bunch of men or a bunch of women to pacify yourselves, because because we don't have that missing piece, is defeating the purpose. Like, it's not natural. We are stronger when we're together. The enemy knows that, and every other group is together except for us. You don't see the Asian and the Hispanic people on the internet talking about, oh, I don't like each other, and you don't see the media grabbing up them folks and saying, oh, we need to be um, we need to be independent, we need to be so on and so forth. No other group is collectively out here making a mockery of themselves except for us. And I don't even take seriously white women and white men who be out here talking about this nonsense, because every white woman come from a white man. Every white woman got a white daddy. She got white uncles, she got white brothers. She come from a system that allows her to do whatever she does. We can't do that. We can't do that because we don't have that system, that support system. So it's foolish for us to even follow up behind them, but we still do it anyway. And the dominant society has put people in our midst, in our communities, to mislead us. And they've established organizations that help mislead us, like the NAACP, like the Urban League, like Black Lives Matter, the national chapter. So we are just all messed up. And then I'm not going to even get into the alphabet agenda. I mean, it's coming out now how these people have been programming our kids for a long time with the alphabet agenda. It's in school, it's in books, it's everywhere. So you can't miss it. And we're not doing anything about it. We just let it happen to us. So because our minds are weak, our bodies are weak, and we don't do nothing. We let our enemies train our children. We let our enemies tell us how to live, how to be. It's not our culture, but we accept it as culture. We are the problem. Entertainment. We are being entertained to death. So are the kids. Kids today are lazy and not as smart as we were during our generation. Um, and I can speak personally. My grandkids don't want to do nothing but play on the devices that their parents got for them. The devices are babysitters now. So kids are entertaining themselves. The parents are entertaining themselves too. Everybody's watching something and nobody's learning anything. We spend more time playing games than doing things that will make our communities and our people stronger. We waste time playing sports, from AAU, Pop Warner League, high school, college, professional. And if we ain't playing it, we sitting around watching it. We watch people literally play. Playing is for kids. Grown people are playing for kids, are playing like kids. And grown people are encouraging their children to spend more time playing than they do learning things that will benefit them throughout their lives. So by the time you finish playing your kids don't know how to do nothing else when they don't go pro, or they get tired of playing sports, or they get out of college, get out of high school, and it's time to go work in real life. They've spent more time playing and practicing to play than they did practicing for real life. We're also entertained by trash TV, video games, cell phones, tablets, reality TV show, clubs, entertainment news, celebrity news and celebrity gossip, and other things that have been weaponized to keep us from learning and doing things that matter in this life. We don't have people who are prepared to protect their communities because everybody's so busy being entertained by nothing. Entertainment is now a weapon of the dominant society, and they use it to control everything about us. All forms of communication today basically have been weaponized to be evil, and including this particular platform, YouTube. Like, there's more trash on YouTube than a little bit. And we seem to gravitate towards the trash than to good things that will teach us that we're in a war. You could tell by the views that people who are trying to teach stuff, like me and Professor Black Truth, the Black Authority, Journeyman, Journeywoman, you look at their videos don't hardly get that many views. They have really good content. Afro Elite, just a lot of different, people. If you're cooning and raccooning and playing and dancing and acting a fool, you can get a lot of views. You're a man acting like a woman, you're doing comedy. If you're a woman complaining about men, or just acting hood, you can get millions of views. We'll even watch animals, but we won't watch, people trying to teach you about how to survive in this system. Everything is weaponized. Everything. Entertainment. Even the education system. They control the entire education system. And when I say they, I'm talking about the dominant society. Our enemies are teaching our children and directing them into educational paths and choices for the benefit of the dominant society and not ours. We as parents have relinquished our duties as parents, and we allow people who worship demons, who worship Satan, who openly practice racism and discrimination to teach our kids their history, not ours. We don't have any schools anymore, not enough of them to deprogram and fix our brains. Our future is being programmed for failure because we allow our enemy to teach our children. So we don't have a future. These people are failing us, and we are failing ourselves because we allow them to teach us. All these different things have been used or are being used to retard our people. When I say retard, don't get on here and say I called somebody retarded. I'm saying that our people cannot develop properly mentally because we have all these different obstacles, these weapons that have been used over a long period of time to desensitize us to the fact that we are in a war. We can't see the war. Therefore, we are, incapable of fighting the war collectively. We can fight individually because some of us can see, but everybody can't see. So because we cannot see, we can't fight. Sadly, there are only a few people who get it. Our, um, issues will never change because we can't see. We can't accomplish anything of substance for long because the dominant society, them folks, their allies, their grandfathers, and raccoons have impeded us with every trick they have in their playbook. And they have psychologically waged war on us. We are in a war. You can't tell us nothing. We don't like each other. We don't listen to nothing. We won't help each other. We don't respect one another. We don't respect or gatekeep our culture. We don't even really like ourselves. And it's reflected in everything that we do, from how we work to how we dress to how we speak to one another to how we do business to, how we get money and how we spend our money, everything. Every war that the dominant society has waged on us, they are winning. And they're winning because we don't know we are in a war. So you see all these things happening. You see all these laws being passed to let immigrants drive without driver's licenses and have cars and vote. And they're getting all these services that, things that they would never do for us. And you don't think that's war? You see all these things happening in these black cities, all these policies being rolled back, the dirty water, the high crime, the police brutality, the injustice, and you think it's an accident? You see the way schools are handling our kids not learning nothing. Everybody seems dull as a, unsharpened pencil. And you think that's by accident. You look at our culture and you see how these kids walking around with hoodies in the summertime and shorts in the wintertime and just hair all in the face, and everybody's depressed and everybody worried about their feelings. And you think that's gonna help us? And y'all just let it happen. It lives in y'all house and just fester. The old people won't help the young, and the young people don't want to listen to the old people. Only culture where you have that going on is our culture. What's wrong with us? I can tell you what's wrong with us. We have been in a civil war for 50, 60 years, and we didn't know it. And so now we are seeing the impact of it. I don't know what it's going to take to wake us up, but I mean, all the people got left to do now is just come in on horses with the Klan uniforms on and take the people out, because we ain't going to do nothing. We won't even protect ourselves. It is a sad day to watch Black Americans walk around so aloof and so scary and just so unaware of what's happening. But one day I hope we wake up. I hope it's just not too late. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to my Odyssey channels and my backup channels on Rumble in the event that this channel is taken down. But I hope my people wake up, because things are getting out of hand, and all I see is defenseless Black people everywhere, just walking around with their heads in the clouds, not understanding that they are in a war, and people are literally out here trying to kill us. They're just doing it slowly, and we seem to be okay with it. So wake up, Black people. African American, foundational Black people, uh, descendants of slaves, chattel slavery, not indentured servitude, chattel slavery. Wake up. You are in a civil war, and it's about to get a lot worse. If you don't like each other, nobody else is going to like you. We are all we got. So wake up, Black people. The war is here. And y'all don't even know y'all in it. All right, this is Marley K, and I'm out.